welcome back. Let's now look at the second video in which we will continue with factorizing quadratic expressions. And I did number 1 in the previous video, so I'll be moving on to number 2 as well, and I'll complete all of this. So let me bring you back through something very important again. Right, so the form for the quadratic expression is actually ax squared plus bx plus c. Right, in this case a is the coefficient for the x squared, which is a number. b is the coefficient for the x term, and then c is a constant, which can be any number. And if you notice the form ax squared plus bx plus c, in this case, pay attention to these, right? And then you have a look in this equation, in this expression. We have a 1 right here. So in this case, a would be 1, right? So a would be equal to 1. Then b, looking at where this is, the coefficient of x, b would be equal to -7. And c would be equal to 12. So I just want you to see how the different numbers in the expressions are related to the general form. Alright, so got that out of the way now. Let's move on to how we would go about factorizing this quadratic expression. Let me keep that. Let me put this in a little box right here. So in order to factorize x squared minus 7x plus 12, we need to find two numbers. Let's call these numbers h and r. Right, we need to find two numbers that when you add them, so when you add h and r, it would be equal to b, which is this b, which will be -7 in this case, and when you multiply h times r, it would give you the product of a times 12. A times 12, so 1 times 12, which would be 12. So let's search for those numbers now. Right, so you're going to take the coefficient for the x term, which would be a, and multiply that by 12. So we can say 12 times 1. Sorry, coefficient for the x squared term would be 1. So 12 times 1 is equal to 12. Right? So we are now going to find other numbers that you can multiply that would give you 12 as well. We can look at -12 times -1, this is 12. We can look at 2 times -6, that's 12. We can look at 2 times 6, that's 12. We can also look at 3 times 4 equal 12, and also -3 times -4 equals to 12. So you need to find two numbers that when you add those two numbers, you would get b, and in other words b is -7, and when you multiply those two numbers, you would get the product of 12, or the product of 8 of 1 times 12, or a times c. So if you notice, all these numbers can be multiplied to give you 12. If you notice that we have a positive 12 for each of them. But only a certain pair of number you can add here to get a negative 7. Let's look through this now. I won't do all of them though. If you add 12 plus 1, that would give you 13, so that's not it. If you add 12 plus minus 1, that would give you minus 13, right? Not the pair of numbers, not the pair of numbers. Right, we're going to skip out some of these. Let's look at negative 3 times negative 4. If we add negative 3 plus negative 4, this would give us negative 3. Positive and negative signs are together, so this negative 3, positive and negative sign together, so this would give you a negative, which is negative 4, which equals to negative 7. And negative 7 is what we have right there. Right, so our two numbers will be negative 3 and negative 4. So you're going to go back to your original expression now and put x squared. But instead of putting in negative 7x, we're going to put in negative 3x minus negative 3x minus 4x, right? Because if negative 3 minus 4 would give you the minus 7, so we're gonna let's put that in red. Negative 3x minus 4x, so we put in those for the 7 plus 12, right? And we're gonna factor each of these brackets here. X is common, so factor out our x. X is right there, minus 3 for this bracket. Minus sign, 4 is common, left with a x, and we have a minus 3 right here. Because if you multiply negative 4 times negative 3, you'll get a positive 12. And if you notice, x minus 3 is right here, and also x minus 3 is here. You can put x minus 3 in a bracket by themselves, and if you notice, you have x minus 4 on the outside, so you put that in a bracket as well. So that's basically how we go about that one. Moving on to number 3 now. So we need to find two numbers similar to what we did first. But before we even move into that, let me just point out something right here. The form is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the form, but look at this. The square term is actually in the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to reorganize this, which would give us x squared. The x squared term comes first, plus the x term, which is 8x, plus the constant 15. Right? So we're going to take the coefficient of x squared, times that by 15. So 1 times 15 equal 15. Which other numbers can give you a positive 15? Negative 1 times negative 15 give you a positive 15, and negative 3 times negative 5 give you a positive 15, and also 3 times 5 will give you a positive 15. Which of these two numbers can you multiply to get 15, which is the product of 1 and 15, or a and c, and whenever you add them you would get b? Right? Definitely not this, because 1 times 15 will give you 16, so that is out. So we need to find which two numbers will add to give us a positive 8. Right? And if we can look and see, it is actually this. Right? So that's what we're going to use, 3 and 5. So we go back now on the right, x squared. We're going to substitute 3x plus 5x for 8x, because if you add 3 plus 5, if you add 3 and 5, you would get an 8. So 3x plus 5x plus 15. Alright, let me put back that in yellow. Right, plus 15. Factorize each of these. This would give us a x right here, plus 3, plus factor out of 5, because 5 is common to 5x and 15, leaves a x, leaves us with a 3, because 5 times 3 is 15. So x plus 3 are common to both sides, so you put x plus 3 here, and x plus 5 are left outside. Right, so we have x plus 5. Simple as that. Alright, so let us look at number 4. Alright, number 4. So coefficients are 1. Coefficient is 1 for the x squared term. So 1 times 24 equals to 24. Which other numbers will give you a positive 24? Negative 1 times negative 24, it's a positive 24. And we have negative 8 times 3 gives you a positive 24, and negative 6 times negative 4 gives a positive 24. 6 times 4 as well gives a positive 24. And well, negative, and also 8 times 3 gives a positive 24. So all of these multiply to give you the 24, but which two can you add to get a minus 10? Alright, so x squared, and I will choose minus 6 minus 4, because if you have minus 6 plus minus 4, this will give you minus 6, positive and negative, minus 4 equal minus 10, which is what we have here. So we're going to substitute minus 6x, we're going to substitute minus 6x minus 4x for the 10. Right, and we'll put back our plus 24. Factor each of these. So x is common to both x squared and 6x away. Factor out of x. X remains minus 6 minus 4, and we factor that leaves us with x. We have a minus 6 right here, because negative 4 times negative 6 gives positive 24. So x minus 6 are common, so you put x minus 6 in a bracket by itself, and then x minus 4 is on the outside, or on the outside, so you put that in a bracket as well. And if you notice, when you factorize quadratic expressions, you write them as a product, or as factors, because when you multiply them, you should get back the original, similarly to what we did in the earlier stages. And if you do the reverse as well, you should get what you were working from. So that basically wraps up factorizing quadratic expressions, and the other video will be moving into solving quadratic expressions, quadratic equation using factorization. So thank you for watching, and please share and comment on my video, share it with family and friends so that the channel can grow. So if what I have done have been creating any value to you, please show your respect by supporting the channel. Thank you.